Okay, already. This season, we're coaching someone through what so many of us go through.
I'm Alison.
I'm Michelle.
Meet Sophie. She stayed too long, she'll break up, she'll heal, she'll date, she'll spiral. She's you, she's us.
We'll walk with her and you through every phase, from heartbreak to wholeness.
If you're tired of the chaos and ready to thrive in singlehood and in love,
welcome to season 3. Oh,
that's
so
so
close.
good.
Recording in progress. It's been a while.
It's been a while. And also, I didn't, because
Yeah.
I just told Michelle off recording that I've taken a style coach whose name is Lulu Story, and I rate her so much. She's English.
Aww.
So this is today's style outfit. I've got kind
amazing. If you're only listening, guys, go ahead and watch on YouTube. It's very, very worth it.
It's kind of like a really kind of like nice skirt and like a short.
It looks like very 60, not 60s, 70s, 60s.
That's the vibe we're going for.
Yeah.
We're going for the kind of, because Lulu says every time, exactly, and she says every time she thinks of me, she thinks of like somebody swaying and listening to music at the beach.
That's cool. That's very, very cool.
So, what now, Sophie?
What now? We are now in that moment that anyone who's ended a relationship knows of, like, you're broken up, you've cut contact, and you're like, what the heck? Like, what now?
Yeah.
What do I do? You're standing at this crossing
with a million roads.
With a million roads, and you have no idea where you're going, and it's like, what? I don't have a map. I don't have GPS. I don't have. ChatGPT might help you, but not really. You don't know where to go. You're like, what now? What now? It's that moment where your brain is just like, doo. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's kind of like landing, like I was thinking again, just before we were talking about, like style and traveling to France and things like that. And exactly that, like you land in a country with no plan, like what now?
Actually, you say no plan, but I feel it sometimes also when I do have a plan, where push comes to shove, you have a plan, you made everything, but like in the moment, there's that little, sometimes it's like longer, sometimes it's just like a fraction of a second where you're landing, you're arriving, and you're like, brain computing, readjusting. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
So
in that sense, so what now? So if we're going to take the plan and the traveling and everything, like you've got a long-term vision, i.e. enjoying yourself and maybe visiting the different sites or whatever. Mm-hmm. So what now? So what's the first step in that direction? Well, so for Sophie, not traveling.
Yes. Well, actually, for Sophie, your first step should be go traveling, maybe.
Maybe book a flight, a weekend somewhere.
Yeah, in all seriousness, I think, I don't know if it would be the first step, but I think it's a great way to figure out what you want and to reconnect with yourself and just take a moment, take a step back and just figure things out. I have a friend, so she loves to share her situation with everyone, and she asks for everyone's opinion. And I keep telling her that it clouds her own judgment, and it clouds her own opinion. So she can never make a choice for herself and with herself because she's constantly listening to everyone around her. And I think especially in Sophie's situation, where you've just broken up, everyone has an input. I mean, it's true for a lot of phases that she's gone through and that she will go through. Mm. But I think before you try to figure things out with other people, first figure things out with yourself. And I think a great way to do that is taking a step back. It doesn't have to be flying across the country or across the world. It could be just a weekend somewhere. It could be a staycation where you spend a weekend locked up in your home alone. But I think that's a great place to figure out what you want, especially if you're like in this moment of breakup. You're like, okay, now what? What do I do? I have no idea. So you take time. That's it. Yeah. You're not in a rush. You're not in a hurry. You don't have to decide right now. And the more pressure you put on yourself anyway is gonna just stress you out even more. So just take a moment.
I think so. For I was Sophie, okay, not too long ago.
Aren't we all Sophie
Um, we were all
at one
Sophie,
point or another?
absolutely. And I think the first, well, after a breakup, I was kind of like, hmm, what was I not letting myself do whilst I was in a relationship with him? So, because like the end game for me, well, the end game is a very weird way of putting it because
Yeah.
I always knew I wanted to be a mother and have a family. And it's not the end game. Like I'm a mother and I have my family, and now I'm kind of looking at other things. How can I build my career? How can I do other things? So anyway, that's a whole other thing. But I feel like I have to, justify myself of just okay, this is a milestone. What's the next? Whatever.
Yeah.
But regardless of like what you want your life to look like, just have a think of all these little things, what you want it to look like now.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are a lot of things, is it getting a haircut? Is it buying that outrageous pair of shoes? Is it traveling to that city that you were never, that they didn't really like? Is it, if okay, I'm gonna say something and people are gonna maybe be sales toxic relationship, whatever. JT
Yeah,
doesn't
they're
really
gonna do
like
that anyway, but yeah.
exactly. So JT, my adoring partner, doesn't really like colored hair. And
Mm-hmm.
so I used to color my hair a lot. And when I met him, I
Like
hadn't been
colored hair
coloring it.
or colored hair, full hair.
No, so fake colors on hair. Like he likes the natural look. And
If you
he
can't tell,
even
or are we diving too much into this?
we're diving too much into this.
Okay, sorry. I'm
But
just curious the
also
situation.
I think so. No, so I think JT. So no, I know JT likes the natural look,
Okay.
and so I don't wear any makeup. I wear some mascara sometimes, and I don't color my hair. And he just loves it. And when I wear a bit of makeup or things like that, he just goes, "Oh, you're so beautiful natural," and things like that. But he will gladly recognize that when there's the natural makeup look and natural hair color, that it looks beautiful. But he's very much the you don't have to do anything to look beautiful type of guy.
Yeah.
Um, and
So
I
far, I'm
used
hearing
to
nothing toxic, by the way.
yeah, but okay. So I used to color my hair these wild colors, like purple and kind of pinky, and and things like that. And I stopped doing that a while ago. And sometimes I kind of toy with the idea: should I color my hair? And he goes, "No, don't color your hair." And then I say, even if it's just kind of a dark brown, chocolatey color, natural color. He goes, "No, no, no, don't color your hair." And so I don't. I think that's the thing that people may
Mhm.
so you do whatever you want, it's all your hair and whatever. And I agree, it's just not that deep. But I think if
Yeah.
we were to break up, which I don't want to, but that might be the first thing that I do. It
Hmm.
might be the thing that, okay, I always kind of think about it, this or that about it. And if we were to break up, I would probably go straight to the hairdressers and kind of have a makeover and color my hair and kind of shorten my hair or whatever and straighten it and just look different, kind of, switch that around.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the way I look now, but I know that I kind of also cater with the way I looked to please him, which I think is normal and fine. I think that's the first thing I would do. And it's always the first thing that I do after a breakup. I go to the hairdresser.
Yeah, I think a lot of us, I don't know if it's like specifically for the hairdresser or whatever, but I think a lot of us do like to have that little change immediately after a breakup because it helps us maybe feel in control a bit.
Mm,
And it also
yeah.
helps us like, adapt better to the change where you're not only a new person, you're also looking at a new person. So it's like easier to make that transition in your mind where here I'm a new person. I look a bit differently. I'm doing that. And it's also just a sense of like, I'm free and I can do whatever I want. When I ended one of my past relationships, which felt way too restricting, not in the sense of like he was like, no, 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 more in the sense of like, I'm a free spirit. I like to fantasize, I like to dream big, I like to believe that anything is possible. And he was very much a realist. And anytime I tried to like, just
Yeah.
dream big as I do, he would just chop off my wings and just like cut out the. It's like that's not
Mm,
possible. He would do to whatever. And so when we broke up, I felt like I just needed to say yes to everything, going
sure.
out to town with friends and drinking and party. Well, not partying, but like going out and doing things and hiking and just saying yes to
Yeah.
invitations that I got, going out, putting myself out there, trying new things, and just rediscovering my wings and what I loved and and I feel like that really, really helped me to adjust not only into singlehood and adjust to being by myself, but also, you know, finding myself again without that person and finding
Yeah.
what I love and reconnecting with that part of me that love fantasize and love to dream and you know it's something that when you're with someone who's suppressing you, whether it's subconsciously or not, whether it's purposeful or just because who they are and it's the wrong fit, then you sort of lose touch of that side in yourself and you lose touch with a lot of sides in yourself and or you're prevented from discovering different sides in yourself. And so this is a perfect time to do that. And I think the great thing to do is I would take a step back, like I said, and just like
Mm,
connect with yourself and just be with yourself a bit. Just get used to the idea of being alone and that it's okay to have fun by yourself. And then start doing things. Just go out there, just it's like you don't have to decide right now what's good for you, what's best, what I don't know. But like if I invite you out for, I don't know, to go on a mini adventure or for like a
yeah.
hiking trip or to go on a picnic or to drive into town or to drive to the next town or whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's just I think it's just before kind of harness that energy. I had my theatre production last year, and it's just kind of like that butterflies just before going on stage. And I
Mhm.
think instead of it becoming kind of like crippling fear, make it, that slight stage fright, but not the crippling kind, more of the exciting kind of just like, oh
Yeah.
my God, there are so many things that I can do now, and it's going to
Yeah,
be exciting.
exactly. I think there's something, you know, when you're too comfortable in where you are, I feel like that's when you're too static. I mean, that's when you kind of lose hope or you lose excitement in your own life. Or when I always say that when you fear change the most is when you need change the most because it's probably in a time where you don't have enough change in your life and you're not used to it. So I think this is the time to really find the things that give you that excitement that make you feel like, oh my God, I just can't wait. I'm terrified, but I'm also super excited. Or like that moment, oh my God. For me, the thing that comes to my mind is like that moment right before I go on a zip line where I love zip lines. It's just
Mm.
the most amazing extreme sport. It's one of the only extreme sports that I like, but if you can call it that, I don't know. But and every single time I get terrified, but then I want to do it again and again because it's such a freeing feeling. There you are.
Mm.
What now? Go on a zip line.
Yeah, but I think okay. So let's say five concrete things
Yes.
that are affordable that Sophie should do now. Let's find five. Okay, hairdresser, one.
Hairdresser or any kind, like go get your nails
Yeah,
done or go to a
yeah.
stylist
Any
or go to like a
aesthetic.
makeup artist to teach you how to do your makeup.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
something that's for you to make yourself feel good. Like when I get my nails done, I feel like I'm so much, there's something about it. Like Zev doesn't care. Zev doesn't even notice when I get he could, it's like he doesn't notice when I do my eyebrows. It's just like he doesn't care. You're beautiful the way you are, like JT.
Yeah,
But I think get something done for yourself, you
yeah.
know?
So number one. So
Or latte,
aesthetic.
whatever. Yeah.
No. First, aesthetic. Just do
Aesthetic. Oh,
something
okay.
aesthetic.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Two, buy a piece of clothing.
Ah,
Lingerie,
okay.
anything. Do you
Yeah.
see what I mean? Like, Have that,
Yeah.
like you've got the one aesthetic that kind of is going to kind of permanent stay with you for a while. Two, piece of
Yeah.
clothing. So lingerie, boots, shoes, bag, whatever. Just like a little present. And it doesn't have to be anything big. Go on Vinted. Find something like,
Yeah.
cheap, just like little new thing. Go on a trip, a road trip. And it doesn't have to be buying a plane ticket to Thailand or Alpe d'Huez or whatever. It
Yeah.
can be
Hopping on a
driving.
train.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. A day trip, go see something new, drive for a couple of hours, just, do that.
Yeah.
You on your own or with a friend.
Yeah. I think it's good to get away a bit, do something out of the ordinary, get out of the same space that you've been seeing all the time.
Yeah. So that's three. Number four,
Was four, no? That three. That's three. It's one
that's
aesthetic,
three.
one, two gift, then three get away. Four is say yes. I think that's so it doesn't mean to start saying yes to everything and to do things
Yeah.
that are so far out of your comfort zone. But like, if someone offers you to go out somewhere or to do something, or if an opportunity comes up, just say yes, just do it. Just get out there.
Yeah.
Or you go seek out things that that if you have a hobby, then go find ways to do it. Join a club, join a workshop,
No. I think
tutorials
that's the fifth.
online. Yeah,
I think number four is say yes to if next time something, you know, use, common sense of just like if it
yeah,
seems dangerous and uncomfortable, don't do it. But otherwise, if it's
yeah.
just, say yes to kind of something new. And five, join a club.
Club, a workshop, a course, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Whether it's like
exactly.
for a
Sign up to
hobby
something
or
new.
learning something new. I
Absolutely.
think I think it's a good time. I would say also six is to declutter, get rid of things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just if it hasn't been in your mind, and if it hasn't been in your hand for the past year, then it has to go. And if it's just taking up space,
Yeah. I think,
especially if they remind you of him or her
oh,
or
absolutely.
whoever. But yeah,
I mean, I think when it comes to breakups, so that those are your kind of nuggets of wisdom, and like
yeah,
this is not an exhaustive list. Like you can do whatever you want. I think add to that, yeah, declutter, and add to that. I would kind of I go through I kind of put all of the pictures in a folder. I take them off my phone, I put
yeah,
them in the folder, and then some down the line I delete the folder. I do
yeah,
it in stages because I don't want them to show up on my phone. But then I also am not ready to kind of, and I did that for
yeah,
the last few breakups where, we were in this technology kind of state of being. I delete the pictures from my phone, I keep them in a folder, and then I just delete them. And it's fine. I think these are the things I've just like moving on. I think the declutter one is great. I don't know where I heard this, but kind of I heard it years ago. If you haven't used it in the last 12 months, then throw it away.
yeah. Or like this, I can't remember what her name is, but have you watched Gilmore Girls?
Of course.
So when Richard, one of the later seasons, or is it no? Actually, I think it's in the reboot
Year in
that
life.
they did, the four
Yeah.
seasons. So in one of those episodes, then Richard passed away, and Emily is like
Yes.
throwing things out, and she's like going, "There's this woman that she read the book, whatever, and she has this method. You look at something, if it doesn't bring you joy, you throw it away."
Yeah,
So
exactly. But I would agree with that. If it doesn't,
yeah,
isn't it the Japanese that have this kind of philosophy? Like you have a 40 objects,
yeah,
and it's like, and this is including like spoon, fork, clothing, everything. You have 40 objects, and then so I wouldn't say go as extreme as 40 objects, but it is kind of like, just now I'm playing with screws on JT's desk. Like, you know,
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I see it with my nephew and nieces all the time. They have a bunch of toys. What they want to play is within the end is car keys and wrappers, and
yeah,
those bubble wrappers.
of course.
My father brought them a bunch of bubble wrappers because that's what they want to play with. So
I mean,
but
look at Teddy's
yeah,
playpen. He
oh
only plays with this.
yeah, cute. You don't need
So
much. And I
you
think the
don't need
more you
much.
have, the less happy you are. And it's just like there's so much around you that just
Yeah.
and again, when you have so many things, like how like you don't have time or
Yeah.
the attention span to for all of it, you know? You want to be very selective with how you
Yeah.
spend your time you allow into your life.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's that, and then so talking about Lulu again, we were talking about my own clothing. I kind of just went through all of my clothes. And so I'm not letting go of my relationship. I'm letting go of my pre-baby body and way of living, and like
Yeah.
the these clothes that I wore when I was 20, and I was like, I'm not a 20-year-old anymore, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you want to have 10 to 15 pieces of clothing that you love and make you feel great and make a whole bunch of outfits out of them, rather than 50 pieces of clothing that you will hate.
Yeah.
And she's obviously absolutely right. And so
Yeah.
I think, it's the same. You want to declutter and how can, let go of all the stuff that you
Yeah.
don't need. And if you haven't used it in the last 12 months, it means you can go all the seasons without using it.
Yeah.
And
Mhm. I just find that I get way too overwhelmed when I have too much something, especially with clothing. I just when it I mean I'm most of the time at home because I work from home. But like if I have to go out somewhere and I suddenly have to start figuring out what to wear, I just get overwhelmed. And I'm just like, I try to simplify it for myself as much as I can. It just doesn't matter, just take what, you love and that's it. You don't need more than that.
yeah,
So I think that's a good place for Sophie to start with. And
yeah,
I think, like, I don't like to get overwhelmed with decisions. I don't think she should get overwhelmed with too many things or too many steps
yes,
ahead. I think just focus on right now, take it one day at a time.
yeah,
And it's not a cookie cutter kind of situation. It's not one situation fits all. So like you have to play around with it and adapt it to yourself.
yeah.
So
That's a good thing, a good place to end.
yeah, thank you everyone for listening, and thank you, Sophie, for bringing up this important question. Uh, you let us know also.
Yeah. What are your guys' thing of like, what do you do after a breakup?
Yeah,
What's your top 5 and things like that?
yes. And remember, we are on Patreon now, so
We
don't
are.
forget to check us out there.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Subscribe.
That's it for this episode of Pop Culture Cupid.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We're glad you're here.
Make sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening.
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Reddit for more behind the scenes real talk.
And if you want to support the show, check us out on Patreon.
Until next time, be kind, be happy, be healthy, and remember, heartbreak isn't the end.
It's the plot twist.